Let's just start the video now. I wasn't actually going to do a video today. I was working on a bigger analysis video for release later this week, but after reading lots of... Well, I was going to have a small section in the analysis video going over some, let's say, contemplative extra thoughts on Navi's pricing and such, but the thing is, I've been reading a lot of comments, and as I kept writing that part of the script, it was just getting too long and cumbersome. And then I started seeing some truly spectacular stuff where I just had to take a walk to cool off. I think it's time to just make this its own video, addressing price performance and the industry in general, not pointing fingers really at any company, but thinking about who drives what these companies do, and it's you, the consumers. Now, the first thing I want to do is go through some of these comments. I was going to, make it fancy and make them appear on screen, but frankly, I think that I've done that before, and I think that's a little rude. I don't want to call anyone specific out, and more importantly, I don't need to put these on screen. Go to the comments section of a lot of tech tuber channels that you probably browse in addition to mine, and you'll see 10 duplicates of what I'm about to talk about. But anyways, let's go through some of these. All right, so this first guy says, and this is in a video where someone's raging about Navi's price, I bought the GTX 1080 in 2016, and yet now it's still about the same performance. How did this happen? It happened because you bought a graphics card that didn't launch at $500 like the Lemmings like to say it did. It launched at $600 Founders, couldn't get AIBs for months, and by Christmas was selling on Newegg for $700. It was an 80 series card selling for $700. You bought it in 2016. That's why this is happening. Next. This guy's right. I bought a 2070 and I should just run with it. You're right. You bought the 2070, and the Navi is priced to compete with your more expensive, weaker card. I'm still rocking a GTX 970. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you dumbass. You bought a card where NVIDIA lost a lawsuit because they lied about how much RAM it has. All I ever wanted was 1080 level performance for under $250. Vega 56 has been there for months, guys. You can go buy it. Oh, but he didn't. He bought a 1080. I'm still holding out for a 1680 Ti. I can't even get into how dumb that one is. All I have to say is Navi 10 is a waste of effort when it's on par with Vega 56 and 64. It isn't. It's stronger. With this pricing, it's just not worth it. I hope next year they get their crap together. Until then, I'm holding on to my GTX 1080 for another year. Go ahead, can't run FP16 and you paid more than Navi for it. The irony is so thick, I can taste it. And what you're probably thinking is I'm just going to start raging and yelling at these people, which I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. Just reading those comments again got me worked up. I'm trying to just be as professional as possible in this video. But, yeah. So, next up, and this is really the thumbnail and point of this video, is addressing price performance head on after just venting a little bit at the irony. There's a lot of people saying the mid-range is dead, and that price performance shoppers and just I guess the way I would put it is I see a lot of tech channels saying the mentality of shopping with price performance first has just died. That I think no one would dispute that's what they're saying. And I'm here to tell you that mentality never existed in a meaningful way. And I don't need to do that much to prove it. You just need to look at any sales numbers for AMD versus NVIDIA. And it's not because of the drivers. AMD's drivers are quantifiably more stable. I'll have links in the description. So if it's not the drivers, it's just mindshare and people buying based on arbitrary price points. What truly blows my mind is the amount of tech tubers that have in the past few months pointed out a fact that clearly people look at NVIDIA cards only for some reason, and then they just go, oh, I want to spend $150, so I'm buying the 1050 Ti. Oh, I want to spend $300, so I'm buying the 1060. Or I want to spend $400, so it's the 1070, and so on and so forth. And how, and the truth is they were right. You guys are right. When are we going to stop pretending the market works in a way that it clearly doesn't? The 7000 series from AMD lost market share. The 200 series lost market share. The 300 series lost market share. The 400 series barely gained a tiny bit of market share with substantially better price performance. And then Vega sold 10 times better than Fiji. And it's not just because of miners, guys. A lot of it's just because of the feature set, because of FreeSync, because of Wattman, because of Relive, which has less of a performance hit than Shadowplay on NVIDIA, because of Radeon Chill. It was the features, and it was the mindshare brought by Ryzen. Unfortunately, people, whether it's AMD or NVIDIA fanboys, seem to just buy the card that's in their price range, and they don't look at the competition. And thus, price performance, that mentality of shopping hasn't died. It never existed. All evidence supports this. And with my E3 analysis, I could have just ranted and screamed at the camera and had a temper tantrum for you, and I'm sure that gets clicks for some people. But instead, I told you what AMD is doing. I gave you a look at the greater picture. Not necessarily saying it will work, but how it might work. Not necessarily saying it's good, but why AMD's doing what they're doing. And that's what my channel tries to do. Explain things, not cry because it's raining. We can't control the weather, guys. Yet. But also, let me say this near the end of the video. This can change. I see it. People are becoming more and more informed. And even though people didn't used to shop with price performance in mind, they can going forward. If you want good price performance, I've been saying it. There's used 1070 Ti's and frankly 570s and 580s for $80 on eBay. Buy that. There's your cards. AMD and NVIDIA will see they're losing sales. NVIDIA already has. That will teach them. Or, guys, brand new Vega cards, which are only like 10-20% weaker than the existing the about to launch Navi cards, are on sale for under $300. You don't need a beg for Navi to be a lower price. Vega for $250 is already out there. You can buy it now. You don't need to wait for Navi. And I've been saying that on my channel, at least in the comment sections when people ask me. Vega's a great buy at $250 or under $300. It always has been. And frankly, Vega 64 is already pretty close to a 2070 in most recent games. So for less than $350, it's a solid choice. And it's going to age incredibly well. I mean, Stadia's using it. And if you really break down Vega compared to Navi, Navi will be a more consistent performer. But like Vega 56 and 64 have the same amount of ROPs and TMUs as Navi. It just has less cores, but they're clocked lower. They're going to age about the same way, right? So I already showed in my previous video the margins they're making. So prices will come down. You don't need to buy these cards. And if you don't, they will come down. And AMD is waiting for them to come down. Frankly, they also see a mining boom coming, so they're probably preparing for that. Now, closing thoughts. I actually want to give some advice to NVIDIA and AMD. First to NVIDIA. Huang, take off your leather jacket and sit down for a second. AMD is clearly luring you into a price war. Clearly. They want you to drop prices by 10% because they think you're cocky, and then leave it there. Because then AMD's going to drop them. by 10 to 20% right before holiday shopping starts and bundle Borderlands 3 with it. If you drop the 2070 to like just $430 and then drop the 2070 Super even to just $500, AMD will have a $400 5700 XT bundled with Borderlands 3 this holiday season. And people don't like you guys right now, Nvidia. Be aggressive. You need to reboot your RTX brand if it's not going to die prematurely. Do a full RTX 3000 series launch. Drop a 12 gigabyte faster clocked with a few more SPs and faster GDR6 TU102 die as the 3080 Ti at 1000. Or, crazy idea, maybe less than 1000. Drop the 3080 full TU104, not cut down, with the faster RAM, clocked faster at 600 or 700. Drop a 3070 full TU106 at 500. Bring a 3060 Ti for $400 that is a barely cut down TU106. You need to do this. If you do, you have a chance here. People see the RTX 2000 series as horrible. If you launched an RTX 3000 series with 20% more performance across the board and $100 to $200 lower prices, which I know you have the margins to do, you will take even more market share. And AMD will never try this again on you. And frankly, you'll finally get some goodwill from gamers. AMD, Lisa, I see you walking on stage with leather jackets now. I know you think you're the cock of the walk, and you kind of are, but people are going to get pissed if you ever do this again. It doesn't bother me, and I don't think it actually bothers most consumers, just the vocal minority this time. And I get it. You have a level of power you've never had before, not even since the Athlon days. This is way worse than Athlon for Intel, and you have a chance to really give it to NVIDIA. But, Intel didn't start doing victory laps until Ivy Bridge, or arguably after that. And you shouldn't be doing any victory laps till Zen 4. I don't think this was a victory lap. You did release the 16-core, and your price performance is better than the competition. But it seemed pretty close to a premature victory lap, guys. I didn't give you a pass. I just accept you, AMD, that you are bringing products with better price performance and much higher quality than the competition. So I can accept that. Because of that only. Only because of that, and just this once. But if the 4950X CPU costs $1,000, no. And you better not charge $1,000 for the 5900 XT unless it beats the Titan RTX. Unless that happens, watch yourself. I think people won't hate you this one time because of how bad the RTX 2000 series was perceived. But they will shit all over you if you try anything close to this again. I think you're luring NVIDIA into a price war. Hopefully that is what you're doing, right? Once yields improve, and I know they're worse than 16 nanometer by a notable amount right now, but they're not terrible. Come on, do some price cuts and win people over once you clear the Vega and Polaris stock. If you do that, people will be fine. But don't try this again, and don't even think of keeping the prices high if NVIDIA drops their prices below you, unless something insane happens where it turns out Turing cards blow up 1 year exactly after you buy it. Oh, in Intel, I haven't forgotten about you. Hey, this is exactly what you need. Your 14 nanometer process that I believe you're still using for the desktop graphics cards clocks really fast. Even if you don't have the best efficiency, even if you can only get up to, let's say, I don't know, even if you could only get up to about 1080 performance next year, you price that at half the price of the competition. This is the goodwill you need. Don't forget that. And miss me with that stupid ass 200 watt 5 gigahertz 8 core. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I definitely am happy I'm getting this out there before my other ones. This just needs to happen, right? You know, and if you want to talk to me about my thoughts on this, there are a lot of lively discussions right now going on my Discord, which you'll get access to if you support me on Patreon. If you don't want to do that, you'll see me lurking in the comments from time to time. And please share this video. Tell me your opinions on this. I really don't want people to either go, blame NVIDIA or AMD's evil now. Neither of those situations are true, people. All right. Thank you.